What's up, Dumbmarks? Welcome to episode 187 of the Dumbmarks podcast. Gentlemen, it's not a very good day here in Pittsburgh. Been raining the past couple days, kind of cold, doesn't feel like spring. How's our Saturday so far?
Beautiful.
My kind of weather, you know? You sleep well in it.
That's the Jason answer, I think, Donald.
Nah, you sleep with the windows open in this, and it's like you don't want to get out of bed because you just it's cold, it's cool, but yet you're under the covers. Like, yeah, it's perfect sleeping weather right now. I shout out to all the moms. Mother's Day weekend, Mother's Day tomorrow.
We don't do that here. We don't do that here.
That's not Jason. You are not the gift to your mother. You actually have to do something and make it presentable. So yeah, but kudos to all the moms out there.
Drop in on that gift. Tying in on the card.
That's what the older siblings are for, right?
You have three of us nothing.
Jeez, talk on.
We're not putting that up.
No, we can't put that up.
What's everybody doing for Mother's Day while we're on the topic?
Well,
I'll talk about gifts, but
no, I'm probably I don't know yet. I got my my wife, part of her present I gave her this morning, so that way she can enjoy the full weekend, and got my mom stuff ready to go. So I'll probably pick her up at some point, either today or tomorrow. And hey, listen, when it's Mother's Day weekend, you just go and do what you're told to do. So it's their day, their weekend, and let them have at it and do what they want to do. So
very true. So the whole family will be going out tomorrow. We're doing brunch, so.
Yeah, see, now that's what we won't be doing. I like Mother's Day, Valentine's Day. Like, I'm not going to no restaurants on those particular days. Like, they don't happen. You're overbooked or overpriced. It's just nah. Cool. You want breakfast? I'll pull out the griddle and we can cook something up. Pancakes, bacon, eggs, do it all here. Like, I'm not spending $35 on a 6-stack pancake just because it's Mother's Day. Nah, pass.
That's not even just Mother's Day and holidays anymore. That's just brunch in general. I feel so damn overpriced.
It's what everything is.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Just sit around the house and reminisce. That's it.
It's cool.
That's it.
Yeah, we're going somewhere new tomorrow. I don't even know. Somewhere on Greensburg. So let you guys know how that turns out.
Y'all are traveling.
Yeah, we're traveling. Doing something different. So didn't want to do the same old.
Yeah, nah. But my kids are starting to get to the age where now it's like, all right, y'all got to chip in for these types of days. Like, this isn't just me.
Yeah.
Doing it anymore, right? Like,
Yeah.
y'all got to come through.
That's
With
once you start pulling it on the kids, it's not a holiday anymore. Get out of here.
it's supposed to be their holiday to show their appreciation.
Technically,
No, we're supposed to appreciate mothers for being mothers, not from the children. Society, the world.
They will find any excuse to get out of work.
Jason just hit everybody with it. It takes a community.
Look, he's just he don't want to do that work.
Brand new shirt, or just new that you never worn yet?
It's brand new. The money I could have spent on this, I could have got a Mother's Day gift.
At least the card.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, Taekwon, technically you are correct in that logic that you just put up, but yeah, no.
True.
At a certain age point, it's not my responsibility to buy the gifts from the kids to mom on Mother's Day. Like it shifts to the kid to be responsible for coming up with stuff for Mother's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Was not planned.
Off my hand.
Was not planned. Did not ask to be here. That's on me.
You sound like Gen Z now.
Unbelievable. Let's see where we're at today.
Yeah.
So we just had to argue with my mom, and she was like, "Okay." We were talking about taking stuff and not replacing it between my siblings, and she was like, "You come to my house and eat my shit all the time and don't replace it." I'm like, "Look here, the dynamic will never change. You are my mother. I'm gonna take, and you give. That's the dynamic. It's gonna be like that forever." Sorry.
The provider.
Yes.
She needs to start coming over your house. She needs to come over your house and take, and not give. You know, leave all the lights on, leave the doors open.
She has a key.
Change the thermostat. You know, eat
Well,
all
she
your
be
food.
changed.
Like, yeah.
Do you go in with a shopping cart? Like have like a little basket and just take stuff?
No,
out
but I
the
leave
cupboard?
the stuff under the arm.
I can just picture Jason just be like, "It's time to go shopping."
Like, I be legit like
Yeah,
stealing. Like I be stealing. Like I'm not walking out like here showing you. Like no, I got stuff tucked under the arm. Like you can't see it. Like yeah, walking sideways with toilet paper under my arm. Like yeah.
Just one roll, multiple.
As many as I can get, whatever I need. So mothers of four, happy your day.
Happy year.
Hey,
Happy year.
yeah, that's a good way. It's a good segue out. First thing I wanted to talk about with you guys. Yesterday, the Iron Claw movie went on HBO Max. I checked that out yesterday. Really good. So if that's a story that you're interested in, recommend watching that at some point. So got me thinking, what's your favorite wrestling movie? There's many of them out there, many different stories.
Ready to rumble.
Ready to rumble.
I mean, how many wrestling movies are there actually out there? Like we got plenty of wrestling documentaries, but actually wrestling movies,
like actual movies,
there's not that many.
No Holds Barred.
No Holds Barred's not a
That is a wrestling movie.
That's a wrestler.
How is that not a wrestling movie?
That's a wrestling movie.
The wrestler in the movie. No Holds Barred fighting is wrestling now. That's what we're classifying.
You say that, you say that, you're not gonna say the first Spider-Man
Because
movie is a wrestling movie.
Yeah, Bones already. You got a wrestling queen in it.
Bonesaw.
In there.
Yeah,
Bones
just throw a ring in it. Don't make it a wrestling movie. Like you got Ready to Rumble, you got The Wrestler, Iron Claw, and I'm about tapped out after that.
Fighting with my family.
Cartoon movie.
Fighting
Rumble.
with my family, never seen it.
Oh yeah, that was real good.
Oh yeah.
Fighting with your family was good.
I put that up there.
That was good.
Or a Scooby-Doo WWE collaboration.
Might be the best.
Now, the ones that have definitely got the most talk were The Wrestler. You know, that was very popular, almost 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Because I think that was like around 25 when Mickey Rourke went to 15? WrestleMania. Yeah.
15. Damn.
Don't seem
right.
I mean, No Holds Barred as a kid was just amazing because as a kid it was Hogan, and if you were a Hulkamaniac, it just fit the timeline. Go back and rewatch No Holds Barred now. One of the worst movies ever.
It's that classic 80s cheesy movie.
One of the worst movies ever made. I'll never forget. I found No Holds Barred on Tubi one year wrapping Christmas presents, and I watched it while I was wrapping Christmas presents, and I got done, and I was like, I will never get that time back. It was terrible.
It was like I couldn't believe I liked this shit.
Yeah, like what did I see in this?
Cherish that time.
Nah, it's trash. Ready to Rumble is probably the best one. Yeah, Ready to Rumble is probably the best wrestling movie.
I mean, that's up there with No Holds Barred.
And it also led to a match concept in WCW.
Match concept was good. Match itself.
And your featured champ was in it too, so you know.
Yeah, David Arquette.
Yep.
The movie that brought down a company.
Oh yeah,
that's the movies what brought it down.
That's what killed it.
Russo had probably one of the best tweets of the week this week. He tweeted out, he said, finally, after all these years, I'll admit it. A writer that was only with the company for 9 months is what killed WCW. So he finally admitted it after all these years. He took credit for killing WCW.
Oh boy. We got
I don't know what that documentary is going to produce. Like the book has been out there for 25 years. Like what else are you going to come up with?
The book, the multiple documentaries.
Multiple.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you really want to know the true story, go buy the book. I know people don't read these days, but fuck, go buy the book.
It's a payday. That's what it was. One more time.
Well, it'll be another time before we die. We'll get another. WCW.
We'll probably get another. We'll kill ECW too.
You got to get Hogan's side, Hogan's true side, but he'll do the documentary. The point of view.
My man gonna be a deathbed spilling all the beans.
I'm surprised there hasn't been a 30 for 30 on Hogan yet.
Just on all the lines.
Yeah,
that should be an episode. Just all the lines. Give it time. 30 for 30 exclusively on the 700 Club.
Well, speaking of Max, you brought up, they announced this week a huge streaming deal with Disney Plus, Hulu, and Max coming together. And I won't be buying it. Why, you ask? Because my Disney Plus bundle is being paid for through American Express right now. So I'm not switching that up and changing that to come up with money out of my pocket right now. So
and they still haven't set a price yet.
Yeah. I mean, we saw the sports one was the first one where it was like, oh, we got CBS, Fox, and I forget who else coming together for a streaming platform now. Yeah. Like, oh, so now we're getting the big wigs are like, oh, we can partner up and charge more money because we're partnering up
and get all this money,
and then also still have the people that don't want to pay for the more buy each one individually, which, like, yeah, I mean, so.
Is Max going to be the same streaming app on there that I have? Yes, it is.
yeah.
Yes, it is. It's the same streaming app. So no, you're not getting me 2 times. So
I mean, I
already
get it.
let's cut this.
You'll
cut this
just
off.
get everything to Disney. You can watch everything on Disney.
Oh, so they're trying to be like Microsoft.
Because
Yeah,
you
it's
can't watch
like,
Disney on Hulu.
It's like what Paramount has Showtime,
You
right?
can watch Hulu on Disney. You can't watch Disney on Hulu.
Yeah, everything's
Yeah.
going
Yeah,
through
Paramount
Disney.
Plus and Showtime are now just one app. They're not two
Yeah,
separate
so
anymore.
they're like you're
Oh, they
starting
are
to
one
see
app
it.
now.
But,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. That's just like Steve's like all the big wigs conglomerate. We got a cabal coming on here.
You said
Well, Paramount and Showtime
Paramount
are the
who?
same company, so
Mhm.
that's why they're together.
You said Paramount Stars?
Showtime.
Showtime.
Oh, Showtime.
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
No, every day I get a new Stars ad. 1 year, $4 a month.
Yep.
Please subscribe to us. Please keep us in business.
Showtime.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing because I do subscribe to HBO. But then yeah, like Steve, like you, my Disney bundle that's paid for by something else. So I'm interested in seeing like what the bundle will be to see if it could be worth maybe bundling them all together instead of paying just for HBO separate. But
yeah. I mean, if you don't use ESPN Plus at all, then based on cost, it might make sense to switch it because you have Disney Plus, Hulu, and Max all in one spot. And a lot of people have the Hulu plus live TV, so I don't know if that's factored in or you got to pay additional for it. Like, there's so much shit.
And then you were talking about the sports bundle. Well, then ESPN this week also said that ESPN is going to start getting merged into the Disney Plus app as well. At some point, more than what it is now. I mean, Taekwon, he starts putting out a T-shirt on that. We know where it came from. Yeah, I'm interested in seeing how much more content goes into Disney from ESPN, and if you'll need the ESPN bundle part of it too, or if it'll just be its own standalone thing inside Disney Plus.
And then you got UFC coming up. So, like, outside of UFC on ESPN Plus, like, what are people really watching on ESPN Plus? Omaha production stuff with the Mannings, like hockey games, like what, like,
That's how I watch Penguin games is on ESPN Plus because I don't have the local channel with YouTube.
So I saw this yesterday, and I didn't know if it was true or not, but I'm looking it up. So they will air Indiana Fever's first game on Disney Plus Live. So I'm guessing that's their venture in the live TV.
Okay.
Speaking of which, you brought up the Indiana Fever, the WNBA, for all those people that are complaining about women's sports and their athletes not being paid and everything else. If you really want to support the cause, then go on your WNBA whatever app or YouTube TV has it right now, but you can buy the WNBA season pass. It's $35. $35. It's not $400 like the NFL. It's $35. If you really want to do that, then buy the WNBA season pass. I'm probably going to buy it just so I can watch, because a lot of the stars from college that I watched all year long, now they're in the WNBA, and I want to see those stories and people transfer over and see how they turn it, because I think it could be a true turning point in the WNBA's future based off of how many stars came in at the same time. We've known them for 4 years through college. We got big personalities, and yeah, it's a pivotal moment in time, I think, for the WNBA, because if they can't get the business to change after this, then it's like, all right, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Because you have your magic bird moment in the WNBA right now. So that catapulted the NBA to Jordan in '90s, and now we know what it is. We'll see if this carries over. And I don't think the WNBA will ever get to the heights of the NBA as far as money and global presence, etc. But there is a chance to make that a very strong league to where the women don't have to go over to Russia and Siberia and Uzbekistan and Greece and everywhere else to play basketball year round to actually make a living.
We'll see.
Taekwondo's in the comments speaking my language.
That could be a whole podcast itself with that.
Hey, look for those Mother Day specials.
Hey, there was
the
somebody.
very Saturday that Taekwon and Jason agree on something.
There was somebody in AEW that I saw across the timeline this week popped up with a OF account that I wasn't expecting. Let's just say she likes to cook in the kitchen. So if you follow AEW, you know who gimmick that is. It's out there now.
You're already subscribed then, aren't you?
We'll see. Potentially, maybe, particularly, possibly, but
Go look into the checking in the savings and
checking the savings. Direct deposit 1 week to the next. Yeah, you never know.
All right, we'll get this week's hits and misses. Let's just go around the horn this week. Donald, wanted to kick things off with what you thought was on your Mount Rushmore.
My Mount Rushmore is Ricochet versus Ilya Dragunov and Raw. Great match, young stars. Actually gave them time to showcase, what they could do and all that stuff. And probably the only thing I really, really liked about wrestling this week was that.
Really?
match.
Even with Backlash being the pay-per-view on Saturday?
Backlash was good. Backlash was very good. I mean, I loved all the matches from it. But just highlighting that match, very good this week.
But right now, this King of Ring tournament is feeling special on both sides. Because you have stars.
Yeah, but like you watched the matches this week, and I was like, all I kept thinking about was, man, if we had a whole show of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Like the actual King of the Ring one night tournament.
Mm-hmm.
If you had that based off of these opening round matches, you want to talk about special and the ability to be the best King of the Ring ever. Like these first round matches were insane.
Which that's, I think, where the downfall of doing two tournaments at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're pushing both of them to end at one show instead of like you're saying, like the way they used to have, like almost the whole tournament.
Right.
That was pretty much my Mount Rushmore for the week too. I was gonna give it to that match and also the Gunther Sheamus match. I really enjoyed the Raw side of the men's King of the Ring tournament. It, like you said, felt special and just felt like the old King of the Ring a little bit.
Sheamus and Gunther are two people that literally they could have the Randy Orton, John Cena, like just multiple match feud, and I don't think I'll ever get tired of it.
Would they say that was the third match?
Yeah.
On Monday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Gunther tweeted out 3-0 the next day because Sheamus hasn't beaten him yet. But those two are just special in the ring together. And then, you factor Drew into that mix, and they had arguably match of the year at WrestleMania with the triple threat.
Last year.
Yeah. So, kudos to them as well. I had Sheamus and Gunther pegged as my number one spot. Backlash, I was going to come in here and put the fans on there for back-to-back Mount Rushmores, which I don't think I've done, having the same person or factor as being a Mount Rushmore 2 weeks in a row, just based off of the fans that were there on Saturday night and making that pay-per-view feel extra special. Goosebump moments from fan reaction there. I know certain people didn't like it, a la Disco Inferno was on the internet saying how bad the crowd was. Russo said he turned it off based on the crowd, but from AJ Styles to just everybody singing Orton's theme song out, like it was just tremendous night, really good matches. And that pay-per-view, Backlash should be an international event year round now. We've seen it 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Puerto Rico last year, France this year. Like,
Triple H and Nick Khan have already come out and said expect Big Four to stay in the U.S. and then all the other ones have international presence.
Except for Mania, because Triple H reached out to the mayor of London and said, "Hey, let's talk." So
it's making throwaway reviews feel special.
Yeah, but you've had really good matches on both of those cards that made it not seem like just your average dumpster fire of a pay-per-view, right? Like You had Priest and Bad Bunny that was really good and highly favored, and then you come here to this year on Backlash, and it's like, well, pick your poison because there were so many good matches.
Because they gave the matches time. That's what it is.
Too.
Just don't throw everybody on the damn card. You give it time. I was okay with like the 5-6 matches. That was perfect.
That's Hunter's motif, right? Like we've known
perfect.
that from NXT. I mean, Jey Uso with his entrance and just the crowd shots and everything. AJ, like I said, multiple goosebump moments and everything else. But for me, I'm gonna go outside the box this week a little bit for Mount Rushmore. And those of you that are on the internet saw this floating around via clips and everything yesterday. But Gabe Kidd was in the news station in California promoting a New Japan Strong event tonight, and boy was he entertaining. Like you want to talk about? Look,
who is he?
You're like who exactly?
Outside
the box. I know New Japan doesn't get a lot of love on this show just because of when it's on and everything else, but if you keep up with it, he's fighting Eddie Kingston in a no rope last man standing match.
Well, I know who I'm voting for.
But he was just on there and he was taking shots. He was intimidating the weatherman. He was flirting with the host. Like he knocked it out of the park. And
make a name for yourself. That's a way to do it.
I think the most quoted line that they asked him, why should people buy a ticket or tune in? And he said, if you want to watch theater, go watch WWE. If you want fat neck beards and people who can't sleep with girls, go watch AEW. If you want to watch the best, tune in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And I was like, okay. So
what do I always say? Pay attention to your own company. Once you say another company's name out your mouth, you are paying attention to the competition, then you are your company.
I'm not going to lie to you, Steve. I already forgot his name.
All the time.
How much do you watch New Japan there, Jason?
Like you said, Jason, he gave great promotion to WWE and AEW right there.
It was. I heard Gabe. I can remember Gabe.
I don't watch NBA basketball, but guess what? I'm watching over this New Japan show. NBA basketball.
But no, I mean, there obvious was big hitters as far as WWE goes.
Can't tackle.
See, 1 week I do something different outside the box, get nothing but shit for it. So cool.
Oh no, it's good that you went out the box. I was talking about the competitor himself.
I also had up there Jonathan Gresham in TNA, just for the reinvention of him, his character, how he looks in the ring, presentation wise, and everything. They had a good show last week as well.
What do you feel like complete about? Like, how do you feel like this gimmick's gonna go?
Regression?
I was after watching Under Siege last week. I was like, whenever like he did that spit on Kushida.
Yeah,
I was like, is this gonna be his? Yeah, I was like, okay. I was like, are we gonna get a group out of this? Like, is he gonna infect them a little bit, like a la the House of Black type situation?
So, for those of you that watch Lucha Underground on a regular basis, if you remember Drago from Lucha Underground, as far as like the presentation with the mask and the black mist and just, I got those types of vibes. I don't know where it necessarily goes or how it plays out. I'm getting like Venom vibes.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like he's infected with this. I don't know. We'll see. I really like it though. The reinvention of Gresham. The man could obviously go in the ring.
Oh, absolutely.
But he needed something else, and this feels different from him. It's different than what he's done before. He has reinvented himself with the foundation gimmick and being the best wrestler in the world and all this other stuff. The new man of 1,000 holds, a la Dean Malenko when he first started in Ring of Honor. But this is something that's completely separate and different. So he has me interested in that and trying to see where it goes from here. As far as entertainment value goes, I'm hooked, based off of the presentation the first couple of weeks and the way he's wrestled in the ring.
I've really enjoyed the video packages leading up to this too. Like there's I think 5 different ones that they had over a few weeks, and I really like that presentation leading into this. And Yeah, I'm a Gresham fan. I'm looking forward to seeing where he goes with this.
And then I thought Jade Cargill looked really good last night on SmackDown.
I like her. I like her bracket. They got her running through.
Yeah,
it will be interesting to see if they get to her and Bianca.
That's what I was thinking last night.
And I know Bianca kind of worked like a bum knee, so I don't know, I don't know how they get to that, if and when they do, what it's going to be, because you don't want to put the tension on the tag team already.
Yeah.
So maybe Bianca, gets to the point where she can't go, but then that doesn't really help Jade, because it's like, all right, well, she just made it to the finals because Bianca was injured. So I don't know. That booking is going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
I'm trying to picture the bracket, and I could be wrong on this, but I think Bianca's wrestling Tiffy or Mia, whoever wins this weekend.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if they do Tiffany and Jade or something like that, they'll at least be different.
Yeah. It just sucks because it's like, if you give Jade Queen of the Ring, which is fine. Yeah, I think Tiffany's already pegged for Money in the Bank. I think that's set in stone. But a heel Queen or King of the Ring normally works best from a gimmick standpoint if it carries over, right?
Yeah, if they decide to do that again.
Yeah, Xavier Woods was the last babyface winner of the King of the Ring, and that didn't really do anything. Zelina's heel was great, but I mean, King Booker is the best analogy for the heel, the typical heel King of the Ring winner that turns it into something and makes it worthwhile. So I don't know, man. It's going to be hard, but I wouldn't put Jade and Bianca against each other this soon after they just had them win the championship. But Piper was a really good matchup for her. It showed her strength. She looked good in the ring. She did some selling, and she's over with the crowd. All like, if you're WWE, I know you slow played it and rolled it out. And Chris, your biggest thing was, well, what are they going to book her? How are they going to book her? What are they going to do with her?
So I'm fine with her so far.
Have her show up and shake hands does nothing for her, but she's been presented as a star from day one. So
all I said was just I want to see how they book her once she starts actually wrestling, and everything she's been doing, I've been perfectly fine with. Jason,
I'm gonna go with just main event Jey Uso for the week. Just he was it all over the place. The entrance in France, his matches were great this week. They even had him trying to pull it off in what was it, Cleveland? Some stadium. It felt weird, but
yeah, they had during the Cavaliers game, they had the music playing and everybody get their phones out and yeeting on themselves. So yeah, it was. Jey Uso right now is on that Daniel Bryan trajectory where you're going to start seeing the theme song played and everybody getting into it. It's going to be used as a hype type thing. Get your team hyped up type deal. So
we just gotta have an end goal for them. Like, it can't just be main event Jey just to take a pin.
That's I think you definitely saw saying that.
I think you saw the situation with Paul kind of like staring him down. Kind of interjecting him back into that storyline soon,
and then I love the carryover.
Followed up with it too. Yeah,
and then I love the carryover with Solo last night. Yeah. Like, would you look at my brother like that for? Like, you need some help? Like, no Solo.
So, like you said,
last night.
Heyman did that last night, standing outside the ring apron. I lost it. Yeah. It's up. Like,
like you said, just keeping that little thread.
Yeah,
all you need.
Just keeping that thread out of that long-term storytelling until it's time. And with the crowd chanting, "We want Roman," during it.
Man, and I'm like completely interested in the bloodline again. Like, I know when Solo and Tama debuted in that, and it was like, all right, I'm hooked. And then you have, the or the other debut now, like. And I saw some chatter online this week. Well, they're worried about Jacob Fatu debut and now shining Solo, so they're kind of holding Fatu off. Don't want to add him into the mix because they think he'll outshine Solo. And it's like Fatu is going to be a star regardless. He's
What
just
did you hire him for then?
he's just that damn good.
Exactly. What
He's
you
that
hire him
good
for
in
if you're not
the
going to
ring.
use him.
He's good on the microphone. Like he's different. He's like the combination of he's built like Umaga, but he can do the flips and shit like the Usos. Like Jacob Fatu is different. Like you're not going to be able to hold that star power down regardless. So if you're worried about him outshining him, then have him bring him in and move him over to Roman's side.
And that's the point of having two different shows too. So when you get to that point, like if it looks like they're outshining and you're done with the storyline, one's on one brand, the other's on the other, and then you're not overshadowing. They can each shine on their own separate brand.
Or do the WWE audience even know who Jacob Fatu is?
Yeah, I mean,
The wrestling fans.
I'm just saying, the wrestling fans, but the average
casual.
But they weren't worried about this. And granted, it was under McMahon and not Triple H, but you weren't worried about this when, like, you put The Rock in with the Nation and worrying about him overshadowing Farouk because you didn't know you had that in The Rock.
Yeah.
Until he turned heel, and then it was like, oh shit, like this is the guy. It is what it is. Solo has his niche, and he does it very well. So he's continuing to grow. He's showing more personality.
I do.
Like,
I don't think we've seen everything from Solo yet. I think
I've seen Solo cut promos on the indie, so he's not inept. The man can cut promos.
Like what he's doing right now, I'm perfectly fine. Just keep building on it. Just keep building.
You're probably just adapting to a WWE style. That's all.
Just keep building. That's it. He's doing enough.
Yeah. But I'm here for this bloodline run. I don't know what inning we're in, but it's there again.
New chapter. All right, Donald. What didn't work for you this week?
Oh, there was a lot of bad this week. A lot of bad.
I had two. So 1A, 1B, both from NXT. 1B, the Trick and Metaphor segment. I'm glad that Noam Dar hit Trick with that elbow because that segment was going down in flames badly. So that's my 1B. That whole segment was just awful. And 1A had to go to Booker because Booker, being an analyst on NXT, whenever West came out, he said the NA title should have been interim until West came back. Book, I didn't know that West was champ whenever he got hurt. Whenever you're champ, you can make that interim. So what's that saying? That you don't know your shit. Automatically don't know your stuff. So no, he can't be interim champ. Like nobody can be interim champ whenever they're not champion. So that's a slap in the face to Dom. That's a slap in the face to anybody else who won the title afterwards, saying your belt should have been interim until West came back.
NXT as a whole this week was a very rough show to watch.
It was bad.
Finish.
NXT starting to get bad.
I mean, I haven't been watching it, but I mean, that seems to be a recurring theme for you guys talking about NXT lately.
Well, my thing was coming out of the draft, like they people are complaining that Cody doesn't have a plan on the main roster, and we may touch on this later, depending. But you don't have a plan in place for Trick. You have no plan in place. Noam Dar showing a photo of his foot being under the ring, and that's why he's getting a title shot under the rope, and that's why he's getting a title shot. Like that was the biggest like fart in church moment I think I've ever seen. As far as, oh wow, shock and awe evidence. Here's the proof that you didn't beat me and you shouldn't even be champ.
Yeah, it's all built on a lie.
Yeah, it was bad Tuesday night.
It was bad.
So NXT was your go-to show for a while. So for returning to this being a recurring, mush for your week, that's saying something.
Well, don't get me wrong. Like there was some good on the show. Like Roxanne and Chelsea was good, and really I like that match. You had the interaction, even though they showed it on social media with Robert Stone and Chelsea. Like I said, last week,
quick.
This leads to Stone coming up to the main roster and him and Chelsea doing their thing. They're great. But yeah, like outside of that, man, it's a company that looks like they lost a lot of stars in the draft and they have nobody to step in and fill those voids. And you can't do that when you just changed champions and put the belt on the hottest guy in the promotion.
No.
Yeah. Because right now his jets are cooled with me. It's like
Yeah. 2 weeks into Trick's reign, and I'm already like,
yeah.
And it may not be any fault of his own, even though he hasn't really hit anything out of the park yet from a speaking standpoint. But yeah, you talk. There's no real true plan right now.
He could just come out and the crowd just could chant, whoop that Trick, and he could just walk right back to the back room.
That's all you need. Make it a women's show. Make it a women's show and just bring Trick out. Get the whoop that Trick chant. That's it.
And then go back.
But your focus should be on the women. Like, I liked, even though the combine was a stupid idea to filter out and set up your bracket 1 through 12 and rankings, they at least did it to where they didn't show. Like, I thought we were actually going to watch these women do the
like old school.
They gave highlights, and then
highlights.
and then Ava announced the rankings, and it's like, all right. And people were like, "Well, how come Lash is 7th, but so and so is 1?" And it's like, well, if you weren't paying attention, each event you got certain point totals,
and they add up.
So, yeah, I mean, it was something different. Did it work? No, but I at least applaud them for not having us sit through and watching the full combine event.
Then at least something that adds to, like, why did these women get put together? You know?
Yeah, why are the matchups the matchups?
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're running it bracket style and you rank them, you got one, top 4 get a bye, next 2, like whatever the case may be.
Yeah, it makes sense there.
It makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Instead of just pulling out the air, oh, I want this one and I want this one, and you fight,
Although they seem to be pulling out challenges for thin air for their main champion on the main roster nowadays, huh?
Is that your wish of the week?
No.
All right, go ahead. Get into your wish of the
week. My wish of the week is twofold, but it's from the same show. It's from Dynamite on Wednesday night. First is Orange Cassidy and Trent. How do you take a pile driver on the steel steps and then you're slingshotted to the metal frame of the ring, yet you are up standing ready to fight with a steel chair in your hand?
I saw Bully Ray talk about that.
You want to talk about just a complete lack of any type of wrestling theory, wrestling programming, wrestling booking, just anything evolving around wrestling should tell you that you don't do that.
When he
I can add on
when
to that.
when he did the pile driver on the steps, though, like it looked like it was about to get messed up there for a second. Like I got nervous on that.
But here's what makes it worse. The following segment, or 2 segments later, I can't remember exactly, but you have your heavyweight champion come out, cut a promo, gets turned on in the most obvious way possible. Brian Cage, I don't think he's ever turned on anybody in his entire life. He literally stood behind Swerve the entire time. Everybody else was lined up with him. It's like, dumbass, you're letting people know you're going to turn on them. Like, why are you standing directly behind him the entire time? But you put your champion, you beat down your champion, throw him all around, put him through a table, he gets stretchered out. But the guy that's 150 pounds is up, like, what are we doing?
Well, Chris, I thought you were going to put a different one.
That wasn't me.
Oh, no, I saw that.
But what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm sure Dawn's happy because it's Trent.
Oh yeah, because I got something on Trent too. Like, so at the end, sorry, Steve, go ahead. Oh wait.
No, I was just gonna say, I know Swerve dropped the Drake Kendrick Lamar Twitter or rap beef in his promo, but like Oh, did you take the 20v1 that Drake was saying and putting and Swerve went to Tony Khan like, hey, make it 20v1 me. Not of 20 people have them completely beat me up and take me out, and I'll come back against all 20 people. Like, can we? And maybe tie into it where like Christian Cage is actually the father of Brian Cage, and it makes sense, and that's why. Like, what are we doing?
It was like at the end of Trent and Cassidy. Cassidy pulls him into the exposed turnbuckle, and he pins. He rolls him up for the pin. Now the exposed turnbuckle, you're supposed to be knocked out. That's the wrestling rule.
Yeah.
But as soon as the 3-pin happened, Trent gets up and sits up. Good old no sell, but happens to whoop his ass, after the match, do all that other stuff.
It was just a 3-second knockout. That's all it was.
I was like, come on now.
He got knocked out. Three hit the mat, and he was like, "Oh."
And then he just sits up, woke up, like, "Oh my god, what the hell happened?" You know what? I'll just whoop his ass afterwards.
Yeah. So like you.
I mean, Brawl under the Bridge could sell better than this.
Like
Coming soon.
It made no sense. You have this is so Swerve, who's the hottest guy in your promotion. We've seen this with AEW before. Swerve was the hottest guy in your promotion. He beats Samoa Joe. The next week, he doesn't talk on the first Dynamite after he wins. He only wrestles a match on Collision after that. The following week, he gets beat up by Christian Cage and the Cage family. And then the week after that, he gets beat up and turned on by the Embassy.
And not main eventing anything anytime soon.
Nothing.
What
Absolutely
are we doing?
Nothing. Sounds like Trick down in NXT doing absolutely nothing.
They're saying Monet and Willow's going to main event. That when it comes up.
Jason,
Now I have two theories about Monet and Willow. One is for a heel Monet, and the other one,
your theory.
A couple more weeks.
Jason, what I always tell you at the end of June, Juneteenth came early.
Well, yeah, I feel like Swerve is going to drop the belt on Juneteenth this year.
It does. It does.
That's
he has done absolutely nothing. Nothing.
And the guy that lost the belt to Swerve had the best promo package of the week with Samoa Joe.
Can they book a babyface champion? And we're not lumping MJF into that because that was something else. So you had Hangman and you had Swerve.
You had Moxley too. Moxley.
He's nothing. He's nothing. You're not putting him under babyface. He's nothing.
Yeah, Moxley's an asterisk to that. I think Hangman's first run as babyface champ was solid.
But no, it is disappointing to see what they're doing with Swerve.
Yeah,
it is.
Like,
For all that, they could have kept the belt on Joe.
Right off the bat, those two things. Yeah. I'm like, why am I even watching this show?
Just waiting for Ospreay to take the belt off of him, or it might be even sooner. They might be waiting for Adam Cole to get back better and to take the belt off of him.
It'd be Brock Lesnar.
Where was the outrage at for all these people that were complaining about Tony Khan walking out of the ring after getting a Tony driver and saying he killed the business and everything else? Where was that outrage at for Orange Cassidy this week?
Because we've seen this with Orange Cassidy before. This isn't the first time he's taken a life-threatening injury and just iced down afterwards.
He took a mimosa bath and got back up.
He did. Rocky Romero came in to talk to him.
Yeah.
He should not be speaking right now. You had your champ get it carried out on a stretcher, potentially. We don't know because they never went back to it. They never gave an update on Swerve after he went through the table and got beat down.
He's not a local medical facilities.
Razor head from the top of the step.
So you had Cassidy, you had Swerve, and then the pairing of Team AEW at the end of the show.
I don't even remember what happened at the end. Oh yeah,
Kingston makes sense. Kingston makes sense. Danielson does not.
Yeah. Where that came from? What? Just because of caught us across the ring?
Yeah, and it's like, oh, so now Kingston and Danielson, who hated themselves just because they shook hands, they're supposed to be just great partners getting along now. Because Eddie earned his respect. They don't hate each other no more.
We'll see.
What was the one where my man left the cage early?
What was that about the cage?
Somebody left the cage early because they didn't. They wasn't a part of the team. I forget. There was one of them cage matches, and my man left the cage early on his own.
One
of those situations.
Because I just see this whole rivalry and everything just built on CM Punk. Just everything. Anything with Jack Perry with them is just built on CM Punk. And like we said a couple weeks ago, you can't do the payoff.
And why is Danielson in another Anarchy in the Arena match when last year he got injured in it?
Because he's cleared.
This writes him off for a few weeks afterwards.
That's it. He's cleared.
He'll get injured again. He'll be off till All In. Jason, what was your mush for the week?
I never want to give it to fans in the arena, but that group on Monday was kind of dead.
You want to know why you gave it to them Monday night? Because you had one of the best crowds ever in France for 2 shows, and then you come back to the stupid U.S. crowd going, what?
No, but they were just like, even Punk didn't get a pop. I'm like, that. Like, it was like, I hate to do it because I'm a person that sits there and I don't need to clap. Like, I'm enjoying the show just watching. But
no, you're busy playing wrestling stars on your phone while the show's going on.
Champions. Get it right.
Whatever it is.
And chicken tendies.
There's Jason's spinoff. Champions and chicken tendies.
Like, only thing I got over was like Gunther chops. That was it. That's the only thing I got a rouse out of him. And it was a good show overall.
I don't need the fan interaction to enjoy the show.
But it adds to the.
Oh,
it does add to it, but I mean, we've all watched New Japan where they don't do that. So it's like,
well, hey, I'm not a New Japan guy, so
it doesn't bother me one bit.
Yeah, no. I mean, I enjoyed Raw on Monday. Honestly, I didn't really even pay attention to the crowd.
I enjoyed it wrestling wise, yeah, but it was like they were just like on her hands doing Punk. It was like talking in the background doing Becky. It was just like nothing was getting over except for Gunther chops. I do. I can count me down to 1.
That's the show.
You got the reverse 10 count. You got the reverse 10 count.
Corner to the McIntyre like 3.
3, 2, 1, yeet. Is that what
Oh man.
All right, I'll go into mine. Somebody that's been on the list before and probably won't be the last time, but I'm going to give it to Meltzer ratings again. This week, he gave AJ and Cody. He gave AJ and Cody a 5-star match. This was AJ Styles' first singles match that got a 5-star. Just like, this is why wrestling matches and ratings are subjective.
Well, did you hear Omega on a stream? I think it was yesterday or the day before. Just cut into Meltzer. He's like, this isn't me going full heel on Meltzer, but I broke the system. Meltzer got infatuated with this, what is this new style of wrestling? And this is so great. And I've never seen this before. And it's 8 stars. And now he can't decide what's a good match. Like, Meltzer hasn't had a good week. He's like just
It's
needs.
Meltzer. Like,
He's up there with with Russo. He's up there with Cornette.
Donald, I did want to double back on your NXT because what's her face got the Xia Li entrance with the sword instead of the fan.
Petrova.
Orman.
Yeah, Petrokovich or whatever. Like,
Let's call it Petrova.
what are we doing with the Uma Thurman Kill Bill sword type entrance? Like,
why do they have to keep going back to that?
To
the Kill Bill gimmick.
They're just swinging a weapon.
Have utilized that.
They're just swinging a damn weapon.
It shows off for martial arts, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, if you ain't,
It works for me. Works for me. It's better than Drew coming out with a sword and doing nothing with it.
Yeah. If you ain't Steven Seagal coming out to a sword, I don't want to see it. I need to see black belt resume before you come out with a weapon. Because that's dangerous.
I think she has them. I think she has them. That's why she's qualified to carry it.
All right, Steve, you kind of brought it up before, talking about Cody. So last night on SmackDown, Cody and Logan Paul get announced for King and Queen of the Ring pay-per-view. And it looks to be title versus title. You know, that's the way Cody was talking. They're saying champion versus champion.
It's just going to be for the Universal title. Yeah. Logan Paul's not putting the U.S. title up.
Because the way Cody talked, you know, he becomes a Grand Slam champion. The first thing I thought of was Donald resume checking.
You're not going to double champ Cody. There's no way to double champ Cody.
There's no way. You better not double champ Cody.
The new bloodline.
They're gonna take the U.S. title and fuse it just like New Japan. So
and it's like Logan Paul's only defended the U.S. title 5 times in 6 months. So why can't you find him a viable challenger? But again, it goes back to you don't have any heels built to face Cody right now. So you just have these people with matches, and it's like AJ, yeah, okay, Logan Paul, hey, we're having this match because we both debuted at WrestleMania, and I am more valuable to the company than you.
I feel like they're putting this on only because last year was supposed to be King and Queen of the Ring in Saudi, and then they changed it to Night of Champions for the World Heavyweight Championship. And I kind of feel like that's what they're doing with this, is kind of like a King and Queen of the Ring / Night of Champions. And I think that's the main reason why that match is going on with the two champions.
Just so they can have the belt on, the PLE.
Yeah.
That's it. Just to show it off. That's it. Well, like I said, Cody's a part-time champ now.
Has he wrestled the singles match yet?
He wrestled AJ last
week. Yeah, and that's it. Just a Backlash.
I mean, well, that was for the belt. I mean,
that's it. Haven't fought since Mania.
On touring. Too much touring.
Touring's not on TV.
Yeah.
But whenever Logan came out, I was like, yeah, this is garbage. Just like Steve said, there's no heels.
I doubt the match will be fired, but
he wrestled Carmelo.
Yeah.
He wrestled Mello the
draft. That's right. Yeah, I mean, you got Steve. You said this, I think, about Cody and AJ. That not going to doubt that it's not going to be a good match, but what led to that match? And it's the same thing with Cody and Logan Paul. Nothing's leading to this match, but
what hurts them here is the quick turnaround time too.
Yeah.
You don't have a while to build up. Like you're starting to hit your stretch where I think you have a pay-per-view every month through October maybe.
Yeah.
But do you need 5 out of the next 6, I believe, are international pay-per-views?
But then should you have done, because you had brought this up previously, that you thought maybe AJ and Cody could have been a series. So instead of putting AJ in the King of the Ring tournament, could you have done something that led to a rematch in Saudi? Since it's only a 2-week turnaround.
And that's where all the heels are. They're in the tournament.
I mean, what is Bob? Well, is Bobby cleared?
I don't know.
Apparently not, because he got
On
hurt in
TV,
training
yeah.
and they pulled him from the tournament. Now I don't know if that's legitimate or not, because I haven't seen nothing else about it, but that's why that's why Corbin took his place.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Corbin that took his place. Can't remember now.
Because like McIntyre, I don't think McIntyre's injured.
No, he has a hyperextended elbow. That's why he's not wrestling. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he fought through it on the European tour, and they gave him a lot of praise and credit for getting it through that tour. But yeah, he has a hyperextended elbow right now, so which is fine because him and Punk are both injured, but yet they're entertaining with what they're doing right now.
Yeah,
so,
they can keep it going.
Yeah, I fully expect. I don't know if they can drag it out to SummerSlam, but I would definitely like to see that be the SummerSlam main event.
What do you think they should start SummerSlam booking, like storytelling? Because I mean, you got Money in the Bank. I wouldn't worry about
after Money in the Bank.
Okay, because then up until then it could just be one-offs until
Money in the Bank.
Right.
Even though that gives you a month. Because Money in the Bank,
Money
in the Bank is July 6th, I believe.
Yeah.
And SummerSlam is August 3rd. So you have a month.
Plenty of time.
So,
especially if you're, SummerSlam's second biggest show, long-term storytelling should be involved already with it.
Yeah.
With everything.
And allegedly Roman's supposed to be back for SummerSlam.
And that's probably your only storyline going right now.
Where a person is not there. Where a person is not there, but name is, that's the one already getting bug up every week.
I'm fine if Roman just shows up at SummerSlam, and then that's the kickoff to build in towards the Civil War for War Games.
Mm-hmm.
That would make more sense.
I'm definitely okay with
I don't need Roman wrestling on SummerSlam.
No.
So, but yeah, I don't know, man. Cody's not necessarily being booked the best right now, but the crowd is still over as shit for him.
Mm-hmm.
Swerve is having horrible booking right now.
Yes.
Trick has not good booking right now. Priest and Jey, okay. Then you had Priest come out and apologize, and Judgment Day is good to go, so to speak. But I still feel like that's going to fall apart, and it'll lead towards Priest against Balor. But I don't think you need to make Priest a babyface champ, because I feel like you got more babyfaces on Raw than you do heels.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and you can't have your two world champs like both babyfaces. You can't have Cody babyface and Priest babyface.
And that's why the mid-card scene is good.
I mean, look, you'll probably like the King and Queen of the Rings. You'll get the finals. You'll get Cody versus Logan Paul. You're probably going to get Sammy, Chad, and Bronson in a triple threat.
Yeah, they announced that already.
Okay, and then you're gonna have you'll have Becky defend.
Becky and Liv.
Because you had Bailey on this last pay-per-view, so you'll have Becky on this one. Like,
that'll probably be it.
And again, that lies in like the 5-6 range match.
Yeah.
Card that you need to give everybody time.
All right. Before we get into the game, any other quick hitters for the week?
Let me double check here.
Only other thing I had was, I don't know if you guys saw that the WWE adjusted their TV deal this week. Mm-hmm. So Raw is staying on USA for the remainder of 2024. 25 million. SmackDown's moving to USA a month earlier. They're moving in September instead of October.
So everything's going to be on USA.
There's going to be a very brief period there in September that all three shows are on USA before SmackDown moves, or before NXT moves to CW in October.
The way it should be. Found all in one place. One home. Just real quick, Truth, Chelsea Green, gold this week. On screen and on the vignettes. They've been gold. They were killing it. I need the comedy in my wrestling. And they were gold.
Yeah, too bad they're on separate shows now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do their jobs very well.
I did want to give a shout out. Triple H gave a shout out after the pay-per-view last weekend, but shout out to referee Jessica Carr. She was the first female referee, first female official to referee a WWE title match on a premium live event / pay-per-view.
Mhm.
So shout out to her. And she had a good tweet. She reposted a picture of her and Cody from however many years ago, but she was a fan taking a picture with Cody, and now she was, refereeing his match. So kudos there. But
yeah, good for her. She's been a good referee the past few years.
Yeah, I mean, I like the announcer change ups. Alicia Taylor on SmackDown, Samantha Irvin on Raw, Mike Rome back in NXT. I feel like that's perfectly fit for those three. So yeah, but I was more thumbs down this week than thumbs up on wrestling based on especially Wednesday freaking night. I couldn't believe that. I almost turned it off after Swerve got turned on. Not because he got turned on, just because
right there. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, like they slid in the ring and then the gates of agony were right by Swerve's side the whole time, and Cage is just hanging in the background. And I'm like,
did Donna Edwards dance?
Nana wasn't there.
It wasn't there. It wasn't there.
The best part of it.
Yeah, if I'm picking an MVP from Wednesday night, it was Willow. Her promo, the way she controlled the camera, what she said, how she looked, presented herself, like she is a fast ascending star.
Oh yeah.
Tony and Serena D was a letdown.
Very.
They found a way to keep Tony heel and Serena babyface, even though Serena's better off as a heel, but they they played into the health issues and her coming back and that to get sympathy, which I get, but it's just like, you're just dragging time out for Mariah May to take the belt. And yeah.
Not good. It's not.
But that's it.
Okay. All right. Quick game this week. I've been thinking about this one the past week because now on Raw, you have all 4 original NXT UK champions. And I thought this week between Ilya and Gunther having some great matches, we'll do a little wrestling one gotta go. Between the 4 UK champions, which one gotta go?
Ooh. Gunther's not going anywhere. No. Ilya's not going anywhere. I haven't seen a bad match from either one of them two.
Nope.
I didn't watch NXT UK when they were on NXT UK.
It was a good show.
I did watch their match between them two, or matches.
Their takeovers delivered just as much as regular NXT too.
Yeah, I was really high on Bate when he first started, and then he kind of floated around in no man's land. Dunn, I get it, but I really don't. Like, for me, I don't necessarily gravitate towards him the most out of these 4, so I'll get rid of Dunn.
I'm going for them like at the time, not now, because Dunn's style has grown on me. So I'm gonna go. Dunn got to go just initially off of when they were champions, because I enjoyed Bate, but now I like Dunn over Bate.
And Bate and Gunther arguably had one of the top 5 matches in NXT of all time.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not taking them on.
They went 40 minutes at that takeover, and it was 40 minutes of just sheer brilliance.
Walter and Dragunov, amazing match too. Whenever they fought.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Dunn.
3 for Dunn.
Yeah, done off the list.
Done. We got
More on order over here. Dun.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for me. I enjoy Pete Dunne. I enjoyed him even as his reign in NXT UK. The one that just I enjoy, all four of them enjoyed their matches. I thought they all delivered something different. But Tyler Bate's the one that just I never clicked with as much as the other three. So for me, Tyler Bate can go. So it's just a quick little game today. But I really enjoyed seeing these four on Raw. You know, and I'm hoping that they do something with all four men moving forward. And I thought this week with the King of the Ring tournament, Dragunov and Gunther had a great start for that.
And all of them had great matches between each other.
Yeah.
All of them.
You know, that's definitely going to have a little more technical style on Raw than I think the one you'll see on SmackDown.
Your new Imperium?
I don't want Dragunov and Imperium.
No. Yeah, he's be on his own.
Yeah. I don't need all four of them to be heels.
Yeah.
Dragunov will be the sting of NWO.
Look,
like people like Steve that didn't watch UK, this is a great time to see all four of them interact possibly again or with new talent.
Sammy's moment at Mania was what it was, but at the same time, Dragunov should have been the one to get the call up and be the one to beat Gunther. Like we should be having a summer series of Dragunov and Gunther matches.
Cool.
to culminate at SummerSlam with Gunther dropping the IC title to Dragunov. If you want to immediately make a star, that's how you do it. Put them in a best of 5, best of 7 situation and have them go out and just whoop ass on each other for 5 or 7 matches. And Dragunov would be cemented, and then Gunther would immediately move into the heavyweight title picture.
Who I thought was going to end up doing it was Kaiser. The way they were promoting Kaiser in the fall, like around the end of 2023, they were doing like solo vignettes for him and things like that, and focusing on solo matches. I really thought that's how we were going to get the ending of Imperium, and we were going to go that way. Went a little different. I don't know if that was ever in play with how they were focusing on him as a solo act, but it was how it happened, and just see how we move on from that now.
And while we're on NXT, kudos to the booking of these draftees so far. It's not like last year where people just made the roster and weren't even seen. You got Melo Ardian storyline. You have Ilya in the champ. We were looking for him to do something. He's already in the tournament. Lauer's in the tournament. Blair got a little vignette last week, and we're just still waiting on Kiona and Dijak to see what they do with those two. So much better book than last year.
Blair's video package last night was really good, I thought.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So
anything else?
No, sir.
All right. Thanks for tuning to episode 187 of the Dumb Marks Podcast. Follow us on all social media at Dumb Marks Pod. Head over to Spotify, give us a follow, and listen to the show on Spotify. And buy our merch, prowrestlingtees.com/dumbmarkspod. And before we end things for the quote of the week, I'm going to focus on Mother's Day. Steve said tomorrow's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. To the world, you are a mother. To our family, you are the world. So again, all the moms out there that celebrate, happy Mother's Day. Until next time.
Jason's going to get a calligraphy pen and write that in a card for his mom tomorrow.
thank you.